Hey all, it's Tom again. So last night I watched a movie that really got to me. It's called The Greatest Showman. It's, it's a newer movie. Just came out, I believe, on digital, Blu-ray, DVD, and all that. It's a really good movie. It's about P.T. Barnum's circus, when he was starting. But really, I connected more with the so-called freaks of the show, which I think is really what it was. For me, that's where my attention was drawn. Mostly because of where and when and how I grew up. So I'm actually from a very, we'll say, stubborn family. I don't know, those of you who don't know me, my father was very abusive. Verbally, physically, and in cases mentally, because a lot of that is mental when they do that to you, repeatedly over the years. I have various scars physically and mentally from what I had to go through, living where I lived and with who I lived. I grew up in a small little town, country town, and it was very obvious, apparently, to some people that I was different. I actually have a learning disability. I'm pretty quick on a lot of things, but then there are some things that just, like, as soon as my mind, sees it, I just can't wrap it around it, and then I get all freaked out, and then I shut down. I also have a minor little bit of epilepsy that I tend to freeze and just zone out, and it's just mild seizure is what it was called. I actually went to a doctor about that, and that's triggered by caffeine and stress, but mostly caffeine. So I grew up going into special education classes, so I was around a lot of people who were different than what they consider normal in our hometown. I'm also one of the people who, whenever a new person came to school, especially if they were different, I often made friends with that person, even if they were different ethnicities. I usually made friends with those people. I often found myself attracted to the more unique individuals. Not attracted like sexually, but attracted personality-wise, if you get that. Those type of people who are more unique made me want to be around them, because I like to see things from their points of view. And, anyone who has to go through the hardships that the people who have gone through those particular hardships, and you know who I'm talking about, because, we've all seen them, and we all hopefully know somebody who's like that. It's eye-opening, and for people to treat them differently because of how they look or how they are physically, mentally, whatever. It's just not right. I think that everyone deserves a chance to be treated equally as human beings. If there are needs that people have, I get that. But overall, don't treat them like a freak. Don't belittle them because their life experiences are a little bit more difficult than yours. If you happen to be born into a wealthy family, or have the right friends, or look a certain way. Because I was told that I was ugly, and I was stupid, I couldn't sing, or act, I couldn't draw, I couldn't paint. Pretty much anything that I did, except for reading, I was told that I was bad at it, and that I had no business doing any of that. and that I needed to shut up and just follow what everyone else is telling me to. But I can't do that. My mind doesn't work that way. My body doesn't work that way. I don't work that way. And for people to actually put you down because of how you are, something that you can't help, like you were born this way, not to like quote Gaga or anything, but yeah, we were born exactly how we're supposed to be born. We are how we are supposed to be. And for people to belittle you because of that, it only shows how pathetic they actually are. And I know it's bad for me to call people pathetic, but think about how bad they must feel about themselves. They must feel really, really shitty about themselves in order to tear into you like they do. I mean, I had to go through that for years. It's ridiculous. But that movie, The Greatest Showman, it was so amazing, so eye-opening. I actually cried a lot of the times in that movie because of how these people were treated and how ultimately they overcame these prejudices. And in the end, all be all, they were actually a lot happier people once they actually found their family and their community and made something of themselves. So there's my little, shout out about that movie. If you get a chance, watch it. It's a great movie. And I guess we'll talk later.